President Biden asked for another 4 years Tuesday morning in a campaign video officially kicking off his reelection campaign. The president says he wants to finish the job, but a low overall approval rating and soft support among Democratic voters are just some of the obstacles on his road to reelection. Ed O'Keefe has more.
It's time to finish the job.
Labor union members in Washington today signaled they're on board the 2024 Biden campaign.
Thank you.
In a video announcing his bid hours earlier, the president leaned on his 2020 campaign theme, saying again it's a battle for the soul of America.
The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom.
Mr. Biden signaled he'll focus on protecting Social Security, access to abortion services, voting rights, and gay rights. Republicans, he said, would do the opposite.
MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those bedrock freedoms, cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy.
The Republican National Committee hit back with an AI-generated ad predicting chaos if the president is reelected.
It feels like the train is coming off the tracks.
And his potential opponent, former President Donald Trump, also weighed in.
You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done to our nation.
A new CBS News poll shows challenges ahead for Mr. Biden. A large majority describe the country as out of control. And nearly half of Democrats don't want him to run again. They overwhelmingly cite his age as a reason. Younger voters in South Florida today expressed those concerns.
Well, I just don't think that he's fit enough still to be president. I feel like he is older, and he is getting older.
I think he's too old. This is a new generation, and I think they're stuck in the old ways.
But in Washington, Union President Sean McGarvey said age shouldn't matter.
Well, I'll tell you, my father was in the audience today. My father is 85 years old, and my father could whoop my ass. Okay, so I don't worry about it a bit.
And Ed O'Keefe joins me now. Ed, the president's polling is not so great at the moment. In the latest CBS poll, 55% of Democrats, his own party, think he should be running for re-election. How much of a problem does the campaign see those kind of numbers as?
Well, they remind us that they've got a little while to go, but they understand that there's definitely an enthusiasm gap that has to be closed. I think that some of us have been looking at numbers today that, for example, remind us President Obama had far greater enthusiasm. Bill Clinton had similar levels, maybe a little better, and of course was facing a lot of other personal political challenges at the time that helped bring home Democrats. In this case, the concern is a lot like what we heard from those college kids down in South Florida. I don't feel like I have a connection to this very much older, historically old president, and don't necessarily feel like I have benefited over the course of the last several years. The irony is that in many ways that voter may end up reaping the benefits of things that have been passed and are being implemented in the next year or so. And he made the point today in that union speech that a lot of what was passed by Democrats and with his signature still hasn't kicked in yet. The money isn't in the system, or the investment hasn't been made, and it's going to take at least another year or so for people to begin to see that. That's what they're banking on. But we'll see, because he's going to need to have an enthusiastic base in order to win again.
And his opponent might help him drive up enthusiasm in his base. The president has talked about, on the one hand, equality and freedom, but on the other hand, he talks a lot about MAGA Republicans, connecting the current leaders in Washington to the former president. If you had to split those two messages, at the end of the day, how much is it going to be about freedom and equality and the kind of vision of a future, and how much is it going to be the danger of what the president calls MAGA Republicans?
It's going to be a lot about those base-building concerns of gay rights, access to abortion services, book banning by Republican governors to boost Democratic enthusiasm and awareness and remind them what the party's about, what he's hoping to protect. But then the argument of don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative is one that not only appeals to his base, but ultimately they hope to those swing voters and maybe even disaffected Republicans who, if Donald Trump is the nominee, don't want to vote for him again. And so in essence, it's okay to be the default if you've got a binary choice. A win is a win ultimately, even if it has to be done in that way.
Ed O'Keefe for us at the White House. Thank you, Ed.
Take care.